Hey guys, so how much is too much? How much are you willing to pay for makeup? The more time that goes by, the more I am realizing that it's not really how much you spend that is going to get you the look that you're going for. Is an eyeshadow palette that costs $129 going to be any better than an eyeshadow palette that costs $10? Maybe. But can you get some beautiful, gorgeous looks out of a $10 eyeshadow palette? Yeah, I think you can. I think that the skills that you have, the brushes you use, how you use them are probably more important than the product itself. Now, granted, there are some bad eyeshadows out there, but I feel like the quality in general of makeup is rising. And I feel like we are getting better and better choices all the time. I have noticed a shift in what I have been buying and how I've been buying it and where I've been buying it. And you're going to see even more changes in the future because I'm trying to take steps to counteract some of the problems that I've had in the past. You've heard me say that I won't purchase makeup online anymore because I'm sick and tired of getting my credit card information stolen and misused, and then I have to cancel my cards and all that. Well, I realize that I'm really severely limiting myself by not being able to buy online. So I did something the other day to try to get around that problem. And I'll talk to you more about that in the future because I'm just getting started with that line of thinking right now. So yeah, I'm looking at all the brands that have come out in the last year or so. And I'm looking at the prices and I'm watching the prices of makeup in general go up and up and up. And I'm sorry, but it's just getting ridiculous. Let's start with Pat McGrath. Okay, she is a world-renowned makeup artist, maybe the most well-known and talented woman, no doubt. And she, in the last year, has launched this makeup brand, and her mothership eyeshadow palettes are $125. I'm sorry, but there isn't an eyeshadow palette in the world that is really worth $125. You're paying for the name, you're paying for the luxurious packaging, you're paying for the exclusivity of owning something that most people cannot afford to own. If I was to buy a Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette and spend that much for one palette, I wouldn't be buying anything else again for quite a long, long time. It's too much. Another example, Natasha Denona. Before Natasha Denona launched her makeup brand, I had never even heard of her. She's supposed to be a famous makeup artist. I'm sorry, but I had never heard of her. Maybe I'm out of the loop. I don't know. But $129 for her Sunset eyeshadow palette? No way. That's too much. Okay, let's look at some other examples here that we're just going to go down the line here. Violet Voss. The Violet Voss Ride or Die Pro eyeshadow palette is $75. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews about Violet Voss. Do you really want to spend $75 on an eyeshadow palette that gets mixed reviews? That doesn't seem very sensible to me. Especially if you're somebody that doesn't like to return things. I hate to return things. So if I'm going to spend money on something, I want to make sure that it's going to be good because I don't want to have to return it. But yeah, $75 on something that might be good, it might not. Depends on who you ask. People seem to have a lot of differing opinions about the brand Violet Voss. Okay, let's bring it down a little bit more. Huda Beauty. Is it Huda? I've heard a lot of people say Huda, but I'm looking at that word and I'm thinking, I don't subscribe to her, so I don't know how to pronounce it. So, but I would say Huda or Huda. But anyway, $65 for her eyeshadow palettes. Now she's a makeup artist. She has a YouTube channel, and her palettes sell very well, and they seem to get good reviews. But $65, that's a lot of money. I don't think I could bring myself to spend that much for one eyeshadow palette. It's just too much. Okay, let's go down one more notch. Urban Decay. $54 now for Urban Decay palettes. I remember when they were $48, $49, $50. They're creeping up a little bit. Every 6 months, every year, the prices are going up. Urban Decay, I have several of their palettes, and they are excellent quality. I don't remember ever being disappointed with an Urban Decay purchase. Their eyeshadows are great. Their lipsticks are great. Everything that I've ever tried from them is great. So I feel like maybe $54 is my limit. However, when I bought my palettes from them, I have the original Naked palette. I have Naked 2. I have Naked 3. I have Ammo. I have Shadow Box. I have Nocturnal Shadow Box. And I have the, what are those little ones called? Naked Basics. And then I have the On the Run, Naked on the Run. So I have a lot because they're really, really good. And they are something that they're very well thought out palettes. They're not something that's ever going to go out of style, go out of fashion, be off trend, or anything like that. They're just things that you can reach for over and over and over again. And you can mix and match them with each other. And however, there's a lot of palettes by Urban Decay that have come out in the last few years, and I haven't bought any of them. I don't own the Naked Heat palette. It's gorgeous, and it looks like, I mean, it couldn't be any more on trend. It's like a super warm, pigmented eyeshadow palette. I didn't get the smoky palette that has like the grays and taupes and things like that, and that palette would probably be very flattering on me, but I didn't get that. I didn't get the electric palette with the bright colors. I haven't bought an Urban Decay palette in quite a long time. The last one that I bought was the last two that I bought were the shadow palettes. The regular shadow palette and then the nocturnal one. Why? Because I was getting a bunch of Urban Decay palettes, eyeshadows, and I wasn't spending a lot. Those are really, really great deals. And so because I wasn't forking over $54, I felt okay about that purchase. And I even waited until those palettes had been out for a while and the price came down even more. So I feel like I got a good deal. I'm noticing more and more as time goes on that I seem to be having a harder and harder time spending a lot of money on makeup, and I'm thinking out my purchases more and more. I'm starting to head in a different direction, it seems, where I just want to get a good deal on things. I want to be happy with things and I want good quality, but I want to get a good deal too. That was always one of the big selling factors for ColourPop. And I'm really happy that ColourPop released some products in Sephora, but as you know, they didn't release that many products in that many Sephoras, and so I was really disappointed with that launch because I really wanted to be able to go in there and buy like single eyeshadows and single liquid lipsticks, and you can't do that. They were special Sephora exclusive kits, so I didn't end up getting anything from that. And I could have bought one of the eyeshadow palettes the other day. I was right there at a Sephora that had it, and I looked at it and I thought about it, and I was like, no, I really don't. This isn't what I want. What I wanted to be able to do was maybe buy some more single eyeshadows or buy some liquid lipsticks and individual colors that I pick out, not something that was curated by somebody else with some things that maybe I'm not going to use as much. That's the thing, is I want my purchases to be things that appeal to me personally, that I know I'm going to use over and over again. I don't want to buy things anymore that are, I don't want to spend a lot of money on something and then not keep using it. I want my purchases to be more thought out than that. All right, let's take it down one more notch. We were just discussing Urban Decay and their palettes being $54. Let's go down one more notch. Anastasia eyeshadow palettes are $42. I think we know what happened with them recently. Subculture, anybody? Yeah, that was a disaster for that company. I feel bad for them because I love that brand, and up until that happened, I was always very happy with everything that I had purchased from them. And I didn't get that palette because of obvious reasons. I just, to me, it seemed pointless to even try after seeing person after person after person discussing it. Now, the next one that they launched after that was Prism. And I heard mixed reviews about that. I heard some people say that it was not pressed hard enough, just like with the Subculture. And then other people said it was fine and it was back to being the good quality. I don't know. I'm not sure who to believe or what to think about that. So I didn't get that either. But I also didn't get that either because their palettes are $42, and I don't know if I even want to pay $42 for a palette anymore. I think my mission now is going to be to purchase makeup items that are good quality for a good price. That's what I want to do. So, I mean, there are so many drugstore brands now that are fantastic quality that I almost feel like it's unnecessary to spend a lot of money on the more expensive brands. I've noticed a trend coming up that there are a lot of companies launching now that are making less expensive versions of popular products. They're just outright copying everything about it. The package design, the colors, the layout of the palette, if it's an eyeshadow palette, everything. And I've heard some mixed thoughts on this. My thought is, as long as you're not violating some sort of copyright, then why not? There are a lot of people out there that cannot afford $50 for an eyeshadow palette. And the only way that they're going to be able to indulge in the fun trends that are happening at the moment is to buy one of these knockoffs or dupes. And I don't see anything wrong with that. The controversy of it is I've heard people say, oh, you know, people put their heart and soul into something and then somebody else just rips off the idea and makes an exact copy of it. This is nothing new. There are a lot of companies that have been doing this right along and have risen in popularity because of it. And more people are jumping on the bandwagon and doing this. And so I already have some Makeup Revolution, and you know that's a brand that you can buy at Ulta that I think everyone is familiar with. But Makeup Revolution always held back a little in the sense that it wasn't an exact copy of the things they were duplicating, but some of these up-and-coming brands now are nailing it. I mean, they are really making things that are exactly like the things that they're trying to copy. And I think that's what I'm going to be checking out in the future. And we'll see what the results are. So hopefully that will work out. But what are your thoughts on everything I've talked about? I see that the time is getting away from me here. There's so much more I could say on this subject, but what are your thoughts on everything that I'm talking about? Do you think that, you know, $125 is a ridiculous price for an eyeshadow palette, or do you think that it's worth it in some way? I don't know. I feel like you're just paying for the name, honestly. There's so many things out there that are good quality. Even companies like Maybelline have lost their minds, I think. I mean, the Gigi Hadid collection, one of those palettes is $30. This is Maybelline, you know, $30. That's just, they're taking things too far now. I have discovered so many great things in the last year that I didn't pay hardly anything for, that I'm so happy with, by brands like Essence and Wet n Wild and Primark's brand of makeup. And there's just so many things out there that are so good that I don't know. I just can't seem to want to continue to spend ridiculous amounts of money on makeup, especially when, you know, something is popular and then next week something else is popular. So do you really want to spend a ton of money on something when you're going to be buying something else probably next week and then that other thing is just going to sit there? I want to use my stuff. I don't want to have it sit around. I want to use things that I'm going to enjoy for a long time. So let me know what you think about everything I talked about. And I'll let you go. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed already, please hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.